Hello everybody, welcome back to Grassroots NASCAR Racing. My name is Scott and this video has nothing to do with NASCAR, but it does have something to do with a cool car. At least I think it's a cool car. I think some of you will probably think that. And these cars are actually getting more and more popular as they age. A lot of people, you know, they go back to the days when they were kids. They want the things that they used to have, and the 80s cars are starting to get real popular again. So this car I just picked up, you can see it behind me here. This is a 1989 Dodge Lancer Shelby. This is my new daily driver. So I've been using my blue Ram 3500 truck for a while now, and that thing is just so big to drive every day. I don't like it, but so I wanted to get something else, something that was fun to drive. And I like unique cars, something that's different. I don't want to see another person driving the exact same car that I have. So, and the 80s cars are just so much fun. I used to have, you know, an RX-7 from the 80s, a couple BMW 320i's from the 80s. Such fun cars. They're so simple, lightweight, you know, it feels like you're driving a go-kart. They're so much fun. So I wanted something like that again, and my brother is a huge Dodge 2.2 turbo fan. He loves all the 80s, you know, the Omnis, the Daytonas, the Spirits, the Shadows, the Lancers. He's had all of them, and finally convinced me to get one. So I wanted to show you guys the new car, and let's check it out. So this is it, 1989 Dodge Lancer Shelby. So these cars were actually out earlier in the 80s, and they were actual Shelby cars. It was the Dodge Shelby Lancer, and they were numbered cars, actual Shelby cars. And then later on they became the Lancer Shelby. So this is not an official Shelby car. It's not numbered, but it is actually a better car than the Shelby cars were. It's got a better transmission than what the Shelby had, and a few other parts that were, you know, upgraded as the years went by, as Dodge made the cars better. One big thing that you'll see that's different is this wing up here. The Shelby cars did not have that wing, and I absolutely love that wing. I think it really makes the car. So this one, this isn't the best car, you know, it's not in the best condition. It's a good survivor. It's got about 125,000 miles on it. You can see on the inside here, the inside's in pretty good shape. It did actually come with some brand new actual Dodge floor mats that had never been used. I still have them. So this is just an old one that wasn't here, but the carpet underneath is in really good shape. The kid did have this reupholstered. You can see, you know, it's actually kind of worn, but not too bad. But the interior is really good for what it is. It's all power everything, power mirrors, power windows, power locks, and everything works, so that's good. This is not factory, this is aftermarket. This is actually a Shelby wheel, so that was put on later, but I think it makes it look a whole lot better. It is a 5-speed stick, gotta have that. I did not want an automatic, so I had to have that. But the dash is perfect, no cracks, everything in here is good, all the buttons work, and the tape deck works. So that was a bit of a conundrum for me because I don't have tapes anymore. Got rid of those a long time ago. So I jumped onto eBay and went to a local shop, and for the first time in about 25 years, I bought some tapes. So that's been kind of fun, listening to some tapes again. Factory, this did come with a, right here there was a thing with some slots for tapes. But this is out of a different vehicle, so this is actually like a trip computer. It does a whole bunch of stuff. It's pretty amazing. For the time, I mean, it's pretty nice. And if I remember right, these cars were one of the first cars to ever have a CD player in them, which kind of blew my mind. Who would have thought a Dodge like this? I am going to swap this out, so this just tells you if you have a door open or something like that. The Shelby cars had an actual Shelby boost gauge that fit into this square, so I am going to swap that out. Gotta have a boost gauge. But everything works up here. You know, you actually have a compass up here and everything, temp gauge. It's a pretty sweet little car. Back is nice and clean. Seats are actually pretty good back here. Not too bad. But yeah, so that's the new daily. I love it. It's a fun little car. There's a few things that I'm still trying to fix on it. It does have a decent little oil leak right now, and I think it might be the oil return line from the turbo. So I'm gonna get the car up soon and take a look at that. One crazy thing is when I got it, it was really sluggish. You'd press on the gas and it just didn't really want to go, and you would get up, I don't know, maybe around 6 pounds of boost or something like that, and it sounded like there was maybe a boost leak or something. It was making this weird noise. So we were looking around trying to figure it out, and we got underneath and hit the cat, and it sounded like there was a rock inside there. So we just cut the cat out to see what was going on. The only thing left inside was about the size of a baseball. So when you were getting on the gas, that was just plugging up the exhaust and messing up everything up. So we cut that out, and when we took it on the road to test drive it, oh my gosh, it was like a rocket ship. Completely different car cutting the cat out. So I did have to get a new exhaust system, so now I have 3-inch exhaust on there. I got a new computer already, which is awesome. Put a can in, got some better spark plug wires. So I've done a few things to it, and man, it is so fun to drive. It is just a blast. But let's take it out on the road and you can see what it's like. All right guys, so like I was saying, this thing is just a blast to drive. It's kind of loud now, but I didn't like that. But the 80s cars are just, there's something about them. The way that they're so simple, so tight around you, everything's within reach, everything's simple, there's no computers, no screens, crazy stuff, and they're fun, you know? There's the end of a school zone here. Such a cool little car, you know. And of course, they, you know, there's some little squeak up here that I'm trying to figure out. There's always little things you got to figure out, but that's kind of the fun of them. That's why we like cars, is working on them, tweaking them, getting them the way we want them, fixing them. And especially old cars like this, restoring them back to something better than they were when we got them, you know, making it a better car. But just the driving experience is so much fun. Especially when you have a turbo. And speaking of the turbo, here's what makes the car move. So this is the 2.2 turbo. It basically started off as the slant 6, and they just cut 2 of the cylinders off, and over time it, you know, kind of morphed and changed into what it is in this car. So this is a 1989. This is the turbo 2, but in 89 they basically built the common block to make it even stronger, and that way every car just had the same block. So it's beefier than what was in the earlier 80s cars. And it's got a forged crank and rods, which is kind of nice. Garrett T3 on there. It is intercooled. There's your intercooler right there. So it's, you know, nice little engine. Gets up some moves, especially with that new computer and the exhaust that's on here right now. It's got some get up and go to it. The transmission in this, it is a 5-speed transmission. It's the 555, which is pretty much as good as the 568. It just doesn't shift quite as smooth, but it's one of the best transmissions you can get in this. And also with this car, this is the only way that you could get leather seats and a 5-speed. All the Shelby cars were cloth with a 5-speed, and then they had automatics with leather. But if you wanted leather and a 5-speed, this was the only way you could get it. So it's a good little combination. It's got a lot of good stuff, good for what it is, you know. The only thing that the Shelby ones had that I wish this car had was the rear disc brakes. This one has drum, and then on the hood the Shelby ones had like a little vent that looked kind of cool. But you know, that's all stuff that can be done. You know, it's not hard to swap a hood, and you can also swap the brakes out on this and get the discs all around. So something that I might do in the future. But anyway, so yeah, that's what makes this thing move. Anyway, thanks for coming along, guys. Just wanted to show you my new ride, and hope you like it. If you've got a cool 80s car, comment down below and let me know what you got and why you like it. Take care.